What's up, guys? Ryan from H&S Motorsports here. Today we're out here at AME MOTOCROSS at GLEN HELEN. We have our Orion bikes here that we're going to compare for you. We have the E16S, the newest one that just came out, and we have the E16X. We're going to go through it. We're going to break it down. We're going to show you the differences, and then we're going to go ride it out here on the track, and we're going to go see which one acts better, because the big thing is the batteries in these. So we're going to go through all the differences. So come check them out. We're going to tell you which one you think might be best at the end of the video. All right, guys, so first we're going to go over the handlebars here. You can see the handlebars are a little bit different. This one has kind of a horseshoe shaped design. This one does have a crossbar. Aesthetically, I do like this crossbar. This one is better. However, throttles are the same. The LCD displays are the same. They all have the same functions. With race mode, the display, you can change the speed mode settings. Be aware that you can change these on the fly. If you are riding the bike, you can go ahead and change them. There is no way right now to lock out the speed mode, so just be aware of that, guys. Other than that, the throttles are the same. You'll notice you don't have a switch right here on the 16S model. You do have one on the X for the horn and the headlights. We don't have it on this bike right here because we have them for rentals at the track, so we try not to have those out there. And that's going to really be the main differences right here between the top of the bars and the controls. Next up, as we're going down, you guys see the head tube. This angle has actually slightly been changed, only a few degrees, but you can see by changing that angle has actually lowered the front of the bike a little bit. That's why you can see the handlebar height is so much lower by probably about 3 or so inches. That sounds about right. Unofficial measurement, but I do know what 3 inches look like. Don't ask me how. Anyway, going back to the fork tube. All right, Peanut Gallery over here is laughing at that one. That was a good one. Anyway, so after the head tube, we're going to look down. The whole bike frame is essentially the same. This is the same down tube right here, but the batteries are different. This is the big thing, and this is really why I want to go get this on the track, and I want to go see the difference. Now, this has a 5 amp hour lithium ion battery. This has an 8 amp hour LiFePO 4 battery. Now, the big difference is there. This is going to get a 2-hour ride time. This is going to get a 4-hour ride time, but LiFePO batteries is usually reserved for items with discharge rates, like my red eye charger here. This has a LiFePO 4 battery because it has a longer discharge cycle and you get more life out of it. However, the downside is you get less punch out of the battery. So in my unofficial guess that I'm going to think we're going to go see is this is actually going to be quicker off the line simply because of that battery. So I want to go test it out and see, but I'm thinking that that's what the difference is going to be in the battery. Other than that, the down tube frame, seat, everything like that is the same except for the batteries in here. Next up, we are going to take a look at the back of the bike and we're going to show you what's different there. All right, guys, so now we're going to take a look at the back. The wheels are the same. They're both 350 watt hub drive motors. They are gear drives. So this is what gives you that great bottom end torque. You will see the difference on the brakes though. These are mechanical standard brakes. These are hydraulic brakes. Now, the one thing about these that I did talk to Orion about, I think is going to be changing soon, these brake levers. These are monstrous. They're way out there. For little kids, it's really not convenient. And the bad part is there is no lever adjustment on the inside of the lever. So how it is right here is how it's going to stay. Now, we do have a universal ASV attachment that you can put in there. It'll come with the new brake perch and an ASV lever. You will lose the brake cutoff switch on it. That will be the only thing you'll lose. So right now, when you do pull the brake, it will actually have a safety cutoff feature of turning off the motor. You will lose that when you switch to the ASV lever. Other than that, tires the same, motor's the same. You do see they change up the disc brake on this. I do think the disc is actually going to carry over to all of the new X models going forward. So you can see that Orion is really making some small little changes because they're listening to a lot of customer feedback. That's really the great thing with Orion is they're willing to change things on the fly. So other than that, those are really the big main differences. They do go the same speeds. There are 4 speed mode settings. There's 3 selectable on the display, and then the 4th is a race mode. Now, I do have another video link showing how to go into race mode. It's the same for both of these bikes. The only way to test for race mode right now is it tops out at 28 miles an hour. The best way to check if the bike is in race mode, turn the display on, put it in gear mode 1, move it on the kickstand, give it throttle, and if the display shows anything over 24, 25 miles an hour, then it's in race mode, and that way you know. Other than that, there is no indication. Again, Orion is going to be doing a controller update for that will be available for everybody. Then that will show hopefully an R or some kind of indication on the display showing that it will be in race mode. Speeds are the same. It's roughly 7, 14, 25 miles an hour for those 3-speed modes, and then race mode is 28 miles an hour. Now those were, depending on the rider, weight, terrain, those numbers can fluctuate slightly, but that's going to be the baseline. So again, the speeds are the same, controllers are the same, all that is the same for these. It's really just the brakes, the battery, the foot pegs are slightly different, and then the headlight and tail light are not on there, and the handlebar design. Now we do have our own riser bars here available that do have the crossbar. So we'll see if this bike is, or sorry, if the X model is actually better than the S. So we're going to go to the track, try them out. After that, we're going to come back here and we're going to see how they work. So this is going to be our test lap right here just to get the riders familiar with the bike. Riders, look at the gate. Ready? Okay, so that was our test lap just to get the riders ready for the bikes. They've never really ridden them before. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 1-lap race. We're gonna come back, we're gonna switch riders. That way we can try to see, you know, if it's really the rider or if it's the bike, because we really wanna check and see the low end torque. So on this lap, we're gonna see how, what I guess, the S model is gonna slowly pull away from the X model because of those lithium batteries versus the LiFePO batteries. All right, guys, let's get ready, okay? We'll do 1 lap as fast as you can, okay? Riders ready? Look at me. Go! There we go. So we can see the lithium ion just taking off from it a little bit. Okay, now as they come around the corner, they're pretty dead even. So now they're both going into the corner, both sliding it out, and we'll see right here how the S model just has a small slight advantage coming out of the corner. Doing a little blocking move there. So that right there out of the corner, you can see how the S model does pick up a little bit faster, and it's mainly because of that lithium ion versus the LiFePO 4 battery. So now we're gonna go back, line up, and we'll do it again. Now we've swapped riders to see how it works with the different rider on each bike. This way we can see if it is the specific bike or the rider. By switching, we'll eliminate that variable. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, you're ready. Riders ready? Look at me. Oh, you cheated, bro. Get back there. It's a 5-second penalty. Riders ready? Look at me. Go. So we did get a little bit of a bumble start there from our rider. Cuts on the inside. Jamming. So our rider tried to cut him right there in the corner, but the bottom end torque from that lithium ion battery does make a difference. Now remember, top speed on both are the same. Riders ready? Go! The one on the right, yeah. It does, yeah. I think Brad's used to the bike, so he's like whipping the throttle a little bit faster. But out of the corners, the gray one is no competition.
Is it just because of the battery?
Just because of the battery. It's a LifePo 4, which is what they use in battery banks. So it's good because you get a longer runtime, but the bad part is it doesn't have a high punch for the power output. So that's where you're seeing more more torque out of the gray one than the white one.
Yeah, I know I got like years ago.
Like this, we did 2 laps with the RER Swap. So we're gonna do 1 more like this, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna see the results and what we think about it. Go. All right, guys, so we tested them out at the track. First things first, the rider obviously does make the difference between the two of them. Now, when we did try to switch riders, try to eliminate the rider variable, we can see that the S model did come out on top, especially out of the corners. This had a little bit more pep, mainly due to the battery technology. Now, to recap, they're both 36-volt batteries. The speeds are the same. The main difference between the S model and the X model is the battery technology. This one has a standard lithium ion that you do see in a standard drill battery. This has a LifePo 4 battery. So this one does have less punch, but it is bigger and does give you more ride time. The lithium ion on the S model does give you less ride time, but it does give you more of that punch. Now, this is a 2-hour ride time on the S model. The X model is a 4-hour ride time. So that is really the big difference between them. There is a price difference between the two of them. Now, at the time of writing this video, this one is actually updated with a front suspension fork and is $999. The S model is $799, so that is a pretty big difference between them. If we were to buy one of these bikes right now, personally, we would probably go for the S model, save the few $100. We do have an ASV lever if you do want more adjustments available, or we do have a hydraulic brake upgrade as well that you could do to really fix the problem, which is adjustable, comes in multiple colors. So really, that's the only thing you're missing in our mind from this one. So if you really value the ride time and you really want front suspension forks, not shown on this model, but it is coming out with all of them, the X is going to be your best model. But if you're just looking for cruising, or maybe you want a little bit more punch out of the battery and a 2-hour ride time is okay, the S model, you're not going to be sad with it. It's definitely going to check all the boxes for you. So too long, didn't read. If you guys are the ones that scrolled all the way to the end of the video to want to see what our thoughts were, we like the S model over the X model just for those reasons we listed. If you didn't know what those were because you just scrolled to the back, well, guess what? You got to scroll forward now to go watch a little bit more of the video to see why I just recommended the S over the X. Go ahead and let us know in the comments section below if there's anything you guys want to see. Maybe some other bikes out there that we don't know about, you want to see them compared with, or if you have any comments about the video, let us know. We're listening to your feedback. We're trying to do different clips, trying to segment, go into more details, and also try to get more riders and more track time to really show the difference between the two of them. Thanks for joining in, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video.